Warning, however, sorry, there's going to be some high-pitched and really noisy sounds coming out, so if you're wearing headphones, if you have the sound cranked up, maybe turn it down a bit. Sorry, warning. Okay, finally, well, that's great. You can analyze how the professionals do it on the PC Engine, but how do you get your own sound in games or in your own productions? Well, that's not quite advanced as on other systems. There are not a lot of trackers for the PC Engine yet, so I'll have to cover that in another video sometime in the future. But anyway, I was basically focusing on waveforms, because that's how you get, that's the main difference between something that sounds great or something that sounds like the NES, but even though I love it, or it sounds something even worse. I don't know, electronic greeting cards that sing to you. The envelope that you choose, the vibrato or effects that you put on one channel, or the pairing of sound channels, all determines how nice your productions and music will sound. So you really should choose the waveforms and envelopes very carefully and do it well. Otherwise, you know, people will hear you didn't really put much care into your sound production. I'm not a musician, so I can't really do much. I don't know how to compose. I don't know how to read or write music. So, oh well, I just love listening to music and, you know, making crazy sounds. So I made this program on the PC Engine. It's a wave sound tool that lets you create your own custom waveforms for each of the PC Engine sound channels. So it's running right now, and this is what it sounds like. Right now it's beepy boopy, but listen up. It's got a handy mute button. This just plays several octaves of one single sound channel, but you can hear more. And right here is wave memory of, well, one waveform defined in RAM. And here's another one, sine wave, and sawtooth wave, and another random, really short sawtooth. Here's a popular one on the PC Engine. It's kind of a rounded out or emphasized sine wave, because the quite honestly, the sound space on the PC Engine, it's also logarithmic, which means that at the very quietest or the very top, way up here, the waveform shapes right at the top and very bottom have the most effect on the quality of the sound. So things that are in the middle, which would be, you know, like 0 voltage on the audio line, doesn't have much effect. So the samples are also logarithmic. Volume as well. Here's the ADSR envelope that I have, just a simple fade, but quite honestly, the ones at this end cause it to become quieter fastest, and then way over here, not much change. So the ramping from 1F down to 1/6, that will almost silence the wave, and then, well, I'll play it, and then the rest makes a smaller incremental effect. You can hear how quiet it is already. The ADSR only. See? So this is a program that I made that lets you customize the, of course, the waveform sounds, but also a very primitive, simple ADSR control. Alright, you can see this. That's the default there. Well, this will get repetitive really fast, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. This page has all the, or a lot of the channel controls for all the sound channels, 0 to 6. And this player knob, on and off, controls whether the channel is controlled by that automatic player. This one. And here's player speed. this controls ADSR speed. Well, this will let you set the palette. I don't know if this is relevant to this video, but there you go. If you want pink everything, you've got pink everything. There you go. I don't know what'll look good. This might look good. Oh no, this might not look good. This might. It's straight black and white, easy to see. Sorry for the rest of the gaudy colors. Anyway, turn that off. So you can turn off the player, and then you can control the waveform frequency directly. As you can see by this, the progress bar here to the right of my pointer, a very small fraction of the space is the high notes. And then a very large portion of it is all the low notes. So that logarithmic frequency or the period of the PC Engine is kind of a waste. It wastes a lot of the possible notes that you can have. See? Sorry for that. Anyway, yeah, so kind of a waste. And another limitation, the PC Engine doesn't have a lot of bass. The bottom end for games is not really there. The only way to do it, and I recommend you do it, is by having two channels together and phasing them. Like this. Here, you can see here they're almost a multiple of each other, so that's why there's that kind of coherence. And now they're perfectly in phase. Useless having another channel. And that's basically what Ankoku Densetsu and Dungeon Explorer do to get that. Also, you can play around with the left and right sound mix to get stereo phasing. Oh, that just sounds bad. Anyway. Add another channel in. I'll go down this way. There. Well, that's how you can play around and get just crazy weird effects. Listen to this. That's square wave. So, that's a sine wave. Oh yeah. Waveform type 3. It's a nice fat sawtooth wave. I think I kind of like that. I'll turn this off for a second. Here's the noise channels 4 and 5. Turn this on. Hurrah. There, from 0 to 1F. That's the noise channel options they have, and that's about it. You can mix those two together and get kind of, I guess, a fire sound. Well, you can play around with the volume as well. Finally, channel 2 has an LFO, a low frequency oscillator. It really can't do FM style effects because it adds its frequency to the channel 0. It can't multiply, so to speak. So it can add the frequency, but and it's not really the same as multiplying because whatever gets summed, the sum of frequencies, is still limited to this range that's in this frequency. So it can't do supersonic frequencies so much. So I'll turn that on anyway. Turn that on. Turn off all the volume. There. So volume off. You need that off, or else you'll hear some noise. Even though you turn on the LFO. There, that's off. Good. So you can hear the square wave being modulated. That's times 1. That's times 16. That's times 256. And off. So it's a vibrato effect. And you can change the frequency both here and here. Oh, I'll do this. Change this frequency. That doesn't really sound like it changes much, so try this. Yeah, that really didn't do much, I gotta say. One cool thing you can do with the LFO actually is, let's go through this library here. One thing you can actually do is not just use a sine wave, you can use any wave for the LFO, because the LFO's frequency moves by the shape of the wave in channel 1. So, for example, you can do this, you can copy this. It's off. Oh, sorry. I'll go the other way. Duh. Alright. Well, that's not very useful, but there. I've created an on-off effect in hardware. There. So I'll use this and then change the speed that it modulates. So this is, I guess, really fast cutting on and off of channel 0. I'm sure people can play around with that somehow. I'm sure creative people can get something out of this. Anyway, I'm getting away from what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm getting carried away, obviously. Let's turn this one back on. Yeah, sorry for the loud noise there. These are all waveforms that you might be familiar with from the other games. I've ripped them out of those games or other ones. I think it's a good idea to keep this on again. They all have different sound qualities. That's that voice from Legendary Axe 2, I think. Ankoku Densetsu. This one too. Keep a mental note of that one. Overtones from Data East games. Yeah, it sounds like it's from Paranoia on the PC Engine. Here's that high frequency one, so you can get really low bass. Sorry, not low bass. You can get a nice wider range on the high tones. Trumpet kind of sound. These are very vocal sounding, aren't they? I like that. copy it. Find a sine wave quickly. There we go. Copy that as the LFO. Whoa! Too fast. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Anyway. It's a vibrato anyway. It's a little bit too extreme though. It's a little bit extreme vibrato, but you can do other things. For example, copy that as the ADSR. Now there's no change. You put it up one like this, and it's a slight pitch bend on the LFO. There you go. And then you have paired channels. I'll turn this on. Okay. It's not much, but I have included a little way with 6-button controllers to play some more, play your own chords. Well, with LFO you can't keep things in tune, but at low frequencies you can. It's better to do it in software anyway. But anyway, with this, let's change the ADSR to this. Probably don't need this on anymore. It's a little bit of a beep sound. So that's a way to get an echo effect. You probably already know, but this is a way to get an echo effect using one channel only. You just set your sound volume to do something like this. Well, I think with this you can see how the waveform that you choose, as well as the envelope and other phasing, mixing effects that you choose, will really change the sound that comes out. There's a lot more to it, and I'm not an expert. I'm not the guy to go to about it, because I don't really know much about music and harmony and all that stuff. But these are at least the basics. I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, that's it for now. I think I've gone on for long enough about the sound area of the PC Engine. I'm not going to go into so much detail anymore about how to get tones and samples working from now. I'll concentrate more on the, of course, CPU side and graphics side, because I'm not so competent in the music programming side. Well, until then, I'll see you next time.